The Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, a key aircraft during World War II, played a vital role in the advancement of aerial warfare. Manufactured by Republic Aviation, this robust and powerful aircraft was one of the largest and heaviest single-engine fighters ever built. With over 15,600 Thunderbolts built during the war, it became the U.S. Army Air Force's primary fighter bomber. Introduced in 1942, the P-47 was designed by two visionary engineers, Alexander Kartveli and Alexander Seversky. It incorporated a turbo-supercharged radial engine, a Pratt and Whitney R-2800 double wasp, capable of delivering a staggering 2,000 to 2,800 horsepower. This power made the Thunderbolt a formidable foe in the skies, able to reach speeds of 433 miles per hour. The P-47's design was innovative for its time. Its large, barrel-like fuselage equipped with 850 caliber machine guns, 4 in each wing, giving it an impressive 100 rounds per minute fire rate. With a range of around 800 miles, the Thunderbolt became a versatile aircraft capable of various missions, including escorting bombers, ground attack, and interception. What set the P-47 apart was its remarkable durability. It featured an armored cockpit and protected oil systems, enabling it to absorb substantial damage and continue flying. Its radial piston engine had a high tolerance for damage compared to liquid-cooled engines, while its large size meant it could sustain a large amount of damage and still be able to get its pilot back to base. Nicknamed the Jug, because its profile was similar to that of a common milk jug of the time. It was praised for its dive speed and high-altitude performance, while criticized for its turning performance and rate of climb, particularly at low to medium altitudes. The turbo supercharger in the P-47 gave the power plant its maximum power at 27,000 feet, and in the thin air above 30,000 feet, the Thunderbolt remained fast and nimble compared to other aircraft. The Thunderbolt's service in the European theater during World War II was characterized by its versatile capabilities, ranging from escorting bombers to attacking ground targets. Its role evolved over time, and its contribution to the Allied war effort in Europe is significant and multifaceted. Early in its deployment, the P-47 was initially tasked with escorting bombers on their perilous missions over occupied Europe. Its powerful engine, heavy armament, high-altitude performance and robust build made it an effective guardian against the Luftwaffe's fighters. The Thunderbolt's ability to climb quickly and sustain high altitudes allowed it to accompany bombers deep into enemy territory, which was vital in the strategic bombing campaigns against German industrial centers. However, the Thunderbolt's range limitations initially restricted it from escorting bombers all the way to some distant targets. The introduction of drop tanks, external fuel containers that could be jettisoned when empty, extended the P-47's range and alleviated this issue. This adaptation allowed the Thunderbolt to maintain its protective role in the later stages of the war and ensure the safety of the bomber formations. The P-47's role was not confined to the skies. Its sturdy construction and extensive firepower made it an ideal aircraft for ground attack missions. The Thunderbolt became instrumental in strafing runs, hitting trains, tanks, and supply lines, causing havoc behind enemy lines. P-47 pilots frequently carried two 500-pound bombs, using skip bombing techniques for difficult targets. Skipping bombs into railroad tunnels to destroy hidden enemy trains was a favorite tactic. The adoption of the triple-tube M10 rocket launcher with M8 high-explosive 4.5-inch rockets significantly increased the P-47's ground attack capability. During the D-Day landings and the subsequent push into Germany, the P-47's role as a ground attack aircraft came to the fore. The Thunderbolts were key in suppressing and destroying German defenses, providing crucial air support for the advancing Allied troops. They helped clear the way for infantry and armored units, neutralizing fortified positions and disrupting enemy reinforcements. Some of the most decorated pilots of the European theater flew P-47s. Francis Gabreski, a top ace, achieved 28 aerial victories and numerous ground kills, exemplifying the Thunderbolt's dual-role capacity. The P-47's presence was also felt in Operation Market Garden and the Battle of the Bulge, where it continued to prove its worth in various roles. From D-Day until VE Day, Thunderbolt pilots claimed to have destroyed 86,000 railroad cars, 9,000 locomotives, 6,000 armored fighting vehicles, and 68,000 trucks. During Operation Cobra in the vicinity of Ronsi, P-47 Thunderbolts of the 405th Fighter Group destroyed a German column of 122 tanks, 259 other vehicles, and 11 artillery pieces. The P-47's arrival in the Pacific was somewhat later than in Europe. The 348th Fighter Group arrived in New Guinea in mid-1943. Its 3 fighter squadrons were initially involved in air defense duties, but quickly expanded into other roles. They participated in strafing and bombing missions, attacking Japanese airfields, shipping, and ground installations. As the war progressed, the 348th moved to the Philippines, taking part in the liberation of the islands. Their missions included providing cover for the invasion forces, attacking Japanese shipping, and supporting ground troops. The intense fighting and challenging conditions tested both the pilots and their aircraft, but the 348th Thunderbolts continued to perform admirably. The 348th Fighter Group was home to some skilled pilots, including Colonel Neil Kirby, who was awarded the Medal of Honor and became an ace with 22 victories. Other aces in the group included Lieutenant Colonel William Dunham and Major Glenn T. Eagleston. The group's achievements did not go unrecognized, and they were awarded the Philippine Presidential Unit Citation and the Distinguished Unit Citation for their actions during the Leyte campaign. The British Royal Air Force, RAF, acquired 240 P-47D Thunderbolts with the Razorback configuration, naming them Thunderbolt Mark Is, and an additional 590 bubble-top P-47D 25s, which were designated as Thunderbolt Mark IIs. Since the RAF had no requirement for more high-altitude fighters, they repurposed these Thunderbolts for ground attack missions, a role for which this aircraft was particularly well adapted. By 1944, when the Thunderbolts were officially cleared for operational use, they were deployed against Japanese forces in Burma. A total of 16 RAF squadrons under the Southeast Asia Command stationed in India utilized Thunderbolts, engaging in various operations, including supporting Army units, where they were on standby as cab ranks to be summoned when required, launching assaults on enemy airfields and communication lines, and conducting escort sorties. Their effectiveness was particularly notable during the Japanese breakout attempt at the Sitang Bend in the war's closing months, where they acted in conjunction with Spitfires. These Thunderbolts were armed with either 3 500-pound bombs or, in some instances, British 60-pound RP-3 rocket projectiles. Thanks to long-range fuel tanks, they had an endurance of up to 5 hours, enhancing their operational flexibility. In addition to ground attack missions, Thunderbolts were also employed to escort RAF liberators during the bombing of Rangoon, adding to their multifaceted role in the theater. These formidable aircraft remained a part of the RAF's arsenal until October 1946, reflecting their lasting value and adaptability. Their contribution to the RAF's efforts in the Pacific demonstrates the Thunderbolt's versatility and effectiveness in various combat roles. In mid-1944, 200 P-47 D-22s and 27s were ferried to the USSR via Iraq and Iran, but the Soviets did not rate them well for use in the Eastern Front. Many were sent to training units, less than half reached operational units, and they were rarely used in combat. Instead, the fighters were assigned to high-altitude air defense over major cities in rear areas. Unlike their Western counterparts, the VVS made little use of the P-47 as a ground attack aircraft, depending instead on their own Ilyushin Il-2. Regardless, the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt proved itself one of the most versatile and robust fighters of World War II. Its powerful Pratt Whitney R-2800 engine made it fast and agile, while its heavy armament, including 850 caliber machine guns, made it lethal in air combat. Its ruggedness and adaptability made it a standout performer in nearly all theaters of World War II, contributing significantly to Allied victory. Whether in the skies fending off enemy fighters or supporting ground forces, the Thunderbolt's legacy as a reliable and potent war machine is well deserved.